Hi guys, it's Mum was a Vegan. Just thought I'd do a little video on a couple of posts that you might have seen on my Instagram or my Facebook, or across both platforms. I've done a little kind of step-by-step of how to survive the Christmas period if you're newly vegan or newly alcohol-free, or like me, both. And it doesn't actually have to be just if you're newly. It can just be about keeping you on track. One of the things, the biggest thing to remember though, is mistakes do happen, and whether they're accidentally or you just fall into bad habits, either way, it doesn't matter. Just reassess that it's happened, assess it's happened, assess why it happened, dust yourself off, get up the following day and continue on your journey. Don't beat yourself up about it, because actually that just leads to more negativity and more likelihood that it will happen again if you make yourself feel bad about it. Mistakes do happen. I posted quite recently, I've been vegan nearly 6 years now, and alcohol-free for over one year. And I bought a bottle of alcohol-free wine, which I presumed would be fine, drank it all, and it had milk in it. So obviously on the vegan side, that's not great. But do you know what? I just posted about it so that I gave everybody else a bit of a heads up that it had milk in it, because some people might not have been aware, and I just haven't bought it again. I haven't beat myself up about it. I haven't counted myself as any less vegan than I was. I also was served a drink with, it was a non-alcoholic cocktail, and it had gin in it, and I took a sip and knew instantly that it had alcohol in it, so took it back. But again, didn't beat myself up about it. Mistakes happen, and having counted that as, you know, ending my alcohol-free journey, you just compartmentalize it and move on, which is what I've done. So as I said, mistakes do happen. Just deal with them, sort them out in your head, move on. So this little kind of video is meant to assist you in kind of making better choices over Christmas and making it easier for you to continue on the journey that you want to continue on. So the first step, I should say, most of this information was taken from a website called soberish.co, and it focuses mainly on the alcohol-free journey. So I've amended it slightly to incorporate veganism as well, because I know lots of my followers are either alcohol-free or vegan or both. So it kind of incorporates the best ways of practice for both of those. But you can use them for either, or you can use them for anything else. If you're, whatever your journey is, hopefully they'll be able to adapt them to fit whatever that is. So the first one is anticipate your triggers ahead of time. So get your planning head on. And I would think about, if it's not too painful, looking back at your Christmases past and what caused you to turn to drink or to attack the buffet, for example, without a thought. Is it, you know, one of your parents asking you difficult questions about your love life? Is it a sibling who's very successful and you don't deem yourself as that successful and see that as a bit of a trigger? Or is it just a relative you don't like? Or is it a subject you don't like? Or is it politics? You know, is it any of those chats that make you flick that switch into an area that you no longer want to flick the switch into? So what I would do is think about that. Think about how you would deal with that conversation or that subject coming up. We all do that thing of whenever you get in a row with somebody, that once it's done and you're home, you think of all your best lines, you know, like, oh, damn it, I should have said that. Now is the perfect opportunity to do that. So think about what could be said. Think about what you might say back. Replay that in your head, you know, replay what's happened in your head, but also replay or play what you could say in those. So, you know, like play it in your head in ahead of time, so that your best line, so your A game is ready, so that you know that instead of, you know, thinking, sod it, I'll open the Prosecco, you think, actually, no, I've got an answer for this, and this is this, and you can, you know, give yourself a big high five mentally about it. And a big high five to yourself for not falling into kind of bad habits as such. So the second point is, once you're there, once you're in the room, and obviously this year might be easier or harder, depending on how you are with family and friends. So in the UK especially, I think that's where most of my followers are from, we're obviously having to limit the numbers that we come into contact with over Christmas. and it's 3 households in England. I think it's 2 in Wales, but anyway. So depending on how you are with your family and friends, that might be a really good thing, because it means you might not be seeing that extended family that you're not so keen on, or that causes you to, you know, turn to things you don't want to turn to anymore. Or actually it could heighten it. So you could be stuck with just the people that you know, that make you feel not so great. So the next part is keep yourself busy. Now, lots of families have different traditions. Some families are really into their games and, you know, go, go, go. Some families just like to sit down and watch the sports to begin with a couple of beers, or maybe they, you know, sit and have the Queen's speech or drink before breakfast, or whatever your family tradition is. The idea is to keep yourself busy and make new traditions. So if you're not drinking, if you're on that not drinking journey, maybe try and get yourself involved with, you know, helping out in the kitchen rather than sitting on the sofa and doing the drinking thing or popping a bottle. Maybe if there's a pet that needs walking, why don't you offer to take the pet out, or, you know, go into the garden and play with the pet? Or if there's kids around, why don't you get involved with what they're doing and become, you know, their new best friend? The other option is dig out a board game. Obviously, disinfect all the pieces and don't share pieces and all of that for COVID related reasons. But dig out a board game. We have got a multitude of board games in our household, mostly Monopoly, actually, weirdly, different Monopolies, but they will be coming out over Christmas. And, you know, get everybody up and moving and stuff, because actually they'll feel better for not being sat on their bums, and less kind of sluggish, and actually it gets you kind of hungrier for dinner. So actually it is, and people get more involved. So you're doing a good deed and starting some new traditions that don't just involve, you know, alcohol in this case. The third point is agree to disagree. Now, everybody's going to have an opinion, and for some reason, people love to be offended by people stopping drinking or stopping consuming animal products. And I don't know why, because we don't make those decisions to offend people. They are a personal decision, but they do seem to get some people's back up, and I don't know why. So be aware of it. If somebody, obviously, it goes without saying, your decisions are your own, and you have no reason to justify or explain your reasons for making those decisions to anybody. So if that's the stance you want to take and you don't want to broach that subject, I would just say, oh, that's nice. You know, if someone sticks their wrong, oh, that's nice. Okay, have you seen what's on telly? Or do you know where the remote is? Or, you know, have you seen the dog? You know, Distraction isn't a failure, because by not discussing what you're doing and not, you know, explaining yourself to somebody, that's not failing, that's doing what's right for you. And that is always the right thing to do. Where there is a conversation, and it doesn't just have to be about, you know, alcohol or veganism, it can be political, or, you know, other things that, you know, rile people and get people's back up, and there's often a difference of opinion. Just agree to disagree. Just don't get riled about it, don't get stressed about it. Just say, you know, well, that's your opinion, this is mine, and we've obviously got different opinions, but that's okay. Maybe we'll agree on and make light of it, X Factor, or dancing on ice, or, you know, that sort of thing. But don't ever feel that you need to justify your reasons for not doing something or for doing something to anybody else, because your decisions are your own, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks of them. You're doing them for your own reasons. 4. I don't know if I've numbered the other ones, but if I have, 4. Focus on what you can have. So the thing that I found most difficult last Christmas was, I thought, especially with the non-alcohol aspect, oh, well, I usually have Bucks Fizz in the morning. Oh, I usually have a glass of wine with dinner. Oh, you know, I usually go for drinks with the girls before Christmas. Like, all of that was focusing on what I can't have. And what I missed was the whole multitude of things that I can have. Now, for me, non-alcoholic alternatives, such as, you know, Prosecco and non-alcoholic Bucks Fizz and, you know, those sorts of things, they fit me, they suit me, they don't trigger any need to drink. I just enjoy them because I enjoy those drinks without alcohol in them. So for me, those are perfect. But obviously I know that that doesn't work for a lot of people. So it's about focusing what you can have. Find yourself alternatives that work for you and enjoy those. If you're going to a family member's house, it might be worth checking kind of, oh, you know, maybe don't say, have you got such and such, non-alcoholic version? Have you got vegan version? Why don't you say, do you want me to bring some of my bits that I like, you know, to kind of, I don't want to put you out, let me bring stuff to you. And then that means that you will have stuff that you love with you that will stop you being so tempted and distracted by other things. One thing also to note is always bring more than what you think you're going to need, because I can guarantee you that, I don't know, your aunt whose blood type is mulled wine for the whole of December will no doubt be the first one to dip into your Prosecco and go, oh, this is nice, and have a couple of glasses. Or your uncle who only eats red meat and is, you know, it's steak o'clock over there, will be picking at your M&S mini not chicken Kievs and talking about how lovely these are, or actually you might even be slating veganism while eating them. Nevertheless, people will eat the food that you bring and drink the drinks that you drink. So make sure that you cover yourself by having extra. Even if you store it in the back of a fridge, you know, hide it in the back of a cupboard, keep it in your handbag. Handbag snacks, always a winner. Bring extra, because although they can eat everything and drink everything, you can only eat and drink your bits, or the certain, you know, a limited amount. And the last thing you want to do is run out, be hungry or thirsty and turn to something else. So focus on what you can have. Bring what you want to the table, physically, mentally. Bring what you want to the table and enjoy that. And don't focus on the stuff you can't have. Bring the stuff that you want to have. And five alive, leave. If you're not comfortable, or you're feeling edgy, or you're looking too many times at the drinks trolley, you know, and it's making you uncomfortable, leave. Make your excuses and leave. It might offend somebody, but do you know what? Your mental health and your well-being and the journey that you're on matters more. Obviously, if you can be polite about it, I would personally give a heads up. Give a heads up to the person you're going to. You know, I've just started my alcohol-free journey. I've just started my vegan journey. I'm a little bit concerned that I might not be comfortable in a situation that I was previously comfortable in, and please don't think me rude if I have to leave. It kind of goes a long way. The other option is, if you are hosting, the best idea is to give people a heads up. So if it's alcohol, for example, and you're not comfortable with that, let them know. Just say, you know, I really can't wait to have you over for Christmas. You know, you're in my little bubble. I can't wait to spend some time with you. It's been too long. I've started not drinking, or I've chosen to be alcohol free for, you know, probably reasons that you're aware of. Would you mind just not bringing alcohol in? Or would you, you know, go for a drink after, you know, have all the drinks you want at home, but just, you know, for the couple of hours that you're at mine, would you mind not? Or for the vegan side, I've decided to go vegan. Most of the food I do will be vegan. It's probably all going to be stuff that you've eaten anyway. Is that all right? Or if you want to, if there's stuff that you particularly want, you bring it to me, you know, so that the majority of stuff, if not all of the stuff that you're offering in your home, is suitable for you and isn't going to cause you any problems. Now there will be, and I think this fits with kind of wider family, which luckily we're not able to do so much at the moment, but there will always be somebody who's a bit, you know, those people. So what? If they're there for your family and they love you and they respect you, they'll respect your wishes for a few hours. It's a few hours. It's not, you know, can you stop drinking for the rest of your life because I've decided to stop drinking. It's a few hours. And if they've got a problem with it, then they've got a problem with it. But just do what's comfortable for you. You might feel okay with them bringing their own drinks, you know. Or you might feel comfortable buying drinks and, you know, you not drinking them. You might feel comfortable eating you might feel comfortable kind of offering meat. You might feel comfortable not. You might feel comfortable having milk in the fridge for tea and coffee. You might not. You know, it's on you. It's down to you. And only you will know where your limits lie. And that's the point that you go from. Nobody else in this part matters in your journey. It's solely you. For a few hours, somebody has to abide by your rules. Or if you're at somebody's house and it's not comfortable, then you do what's right for you and you leave. So, as I said, most of those come from soberish.co, which is a fab website. They were taken from their Thanksgiving advice. But I do know they've had Christmas ones on there before, and I'm sure they're incoming. Absolutely fabulous advice, in my opinion. As I said, I've just expanded them, but the advice comes from them. If there's anything that you can think of that you wish that you'd thought of, or you were told, or advice that you were given prior to becoming vegan, or, you know, newly in your vegan adventure, or newly in your alcohol-free journey, do let me know. But hopefully that helps somebody. See ya.